Lost Art with Andrew Cox, retired Master Gunnery Sergeant. thelostart.podbean.com. Get some merchandise and help support the podcast and getting our veteran voices out for all to hear. Now on all major podcast platforms. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be a guest, tell your veteran story, discuss your veteran business or organization. Email The Lost Art with Andrew Cox at gmail.com. Andrew Cox, a Till Valhalla Project Ambassador. See the project story at tillvalhallaproject.com. Thanks for tuning in. Please enjoy the podcast that's giving a voice to our veterans. The Lost Art with Andrew Cox.
Today's episode is brought to you by TrumpShirt.com. TrumpShirt.com is a veteran-owned business where 100% of the proceeds goes to disabled veterans and veteran organizations. Support your veterans by purchasing a shirt at TrumpShirt.com. Use the promo code TLA and get free shipping. That's TrumpShirt.com, promo code TLA.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Podcast, that podcast giving a voice to our veterans. I'm your host, Andrew Cox, and today we'll be having a My Veteran Story. But before we get into the episode, are you enjoying the podcast? Then go to the Lost Art website. That's thelostart.podbean.com. Go check us out and see what we got going on there. There is a merchandise tab. Click on that merchandise tab. Go check out all the merchandise. Get you something cool, a shirt, a hat, a mug, anything like that. But help support us in getting our veteran voices out for all to hear. I also want to give a big shout out to the Till Valhalla Project for allowing me to be an ambassador for your incredible organization. That's the tillvalhallaproject.com. Go to their website, see if there's anything you can do to help them in honoring those that have gone before us and have sacrificed so much. With that, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoy the show.
So actually, that's how I got into the VFW, was in Korea. Outside Osan, there's a post, and they would provide free hot dogs for GIs on
no kidding.
Friday night, and go there, just talk. And somebody said, "Hey, why don't you join?" I did, and
Wow.
The next year, I went to Hawaii, which I guess was my reward for the remote. Had a great time there.
Now, were you doing the same thing in Korea and when you went to Hawaii?
Yeah, outpatient mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get my drug and alcohol certification.
Okay.
And we so yeah. So while I was in Hawaii, an opportunity to work Tripler Army Medical up on their intense outpatient drug and alcohol program.
Oh, wow.
So that was
That's the inpatient.
IOP, so it's partial.
Okay,
It's
I got you.
So you come during the day, but you go home at night.
Yeah.
And you have groups, and you have classes, and you have lessons, and that's where I started really learning a lot and having to deal with the duty folks that are using crystal meth, and I mean,
Oh, wow.
a lot of heavy, hard stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously they're not conducive for military service, but we still have to provide treatment and services,
Right.
and then set them up, for success when they do get out.
Right.
So, but I had an opportunity, and my supervisor knew somebody that worked at the Air Force Survival School, Cedar.
Yeah.
In Spokane, Washington. And I always heard about it. A couple of my bosses previously told me, and I thought it'd be a really cool experience because they have mental health there.
Mm-hmm.
So, not a SEER instructor, but mental health part of the medics, and help support the actual instructors and students and help them keep them in training.
Right.
Because it's pretty stressful training.
Yeah.
And it just so happened it worked out. I curtailed my assignment and was able to to go to SEER, which, you know, also meant that I had to go through a lot of the courses.
So you got the privilege of doing the course as well.
I did. But it's the best training. I never want to do again. But
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to stay there for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And finally, my career field, like my managers for our MOS, said, "No, you got to come back to the big Air Force because you've been out having so much fun."
Right.
And it was. I mean,
So what was kind of your day to day when you were doing that? You know, as students are going through this and staff is doing their thing, you know, if somebody had a mental issue or whatever, that's when you would kind of pull them aside and talk to them, type of thing.
yeah, and if it was pre-identified, screening medical records, kind of try to give them tools and techniques to manage, you know, a stressful environment, right?
Right. Yeah.
Go to your happy place with, you know, so all air crew go through the training in case they're ever, you know, rolled up and you know, we want them to return with honor.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Every day was a different day. There were, you know, helping again the students get through the training. I tell you, just myself, when I had to go to the field from New York, I'm not used to carrying a 60-pound truck.
Yeah.
And you know, join the Air Force. I'm not used to sleeping under the trees. So just having that experience and growth, and really and I'm still in touch with a lot of the folks from there, you know. But that was my favorite.
Yeah.
One of my worst at times, but my favorite assignment because it had so much, I felt, impact on the mission and doing things, and had great supervisors, great cadre there. If I could go back, I would in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You know, I think we at the time we did a lot of things to lay the groundwork for future people, and right. So try to leave it better for everybody else, and hopefully I did throughout my career. So yeah, after that with I could talk on and on about SEER, but
we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. You want to tell some funny stories, some good stories.
But, you know, seeing folks at their worst and helping them get through it.
Yeah.
And knowing, hopefully, knock on, you know, heaven forbid, never want to see them rolled up.
Right.
Heaven forbid, if it happens, they can do the best to return with them.
Right.
And whatever that looks like.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. I mean, that's I don't know, that's a pretty heavy course, right? When you think about what the potential is, you know, and an individual goes, and you're giving them options and ways to deal with and how to come back with that honor. That's huge.
So, what is that for?
This one here, 22 a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was POW.
No, this one's not POW, but
but you know, yeah. So it was just a great experience.
Yeah. Very rewarding, I'm sure.
Difficult at times, and the people that I worked with. So I did over 29 years and retired as chief. And
so I'm not real good with Air Force ranks.
Sergeant Major.
So okay, got it. Okay, so E9.
Chief.
Got it. Chief.
We're not a E9. But anyway.
Oh, okay.
Story. But the chiefs that were at SEER, were like that's who I looked up to.
Yeah.
So when I went back to kind of the Air Force and the medical world, like not to bash on Air Force chiefs, those chiefs at SEER, like took care of business,
Yeah.
knocked walls down,
Yeah.
right? And that's what I tried to do when I went back to kind of the Air Force.
So at this point in your career, what rank are you when you're going back?
So I made a Master Sergeant E7 when I was at SEER. So they moved me back to a clinic operation, which I've never ran really before. But I was E7. They needed E7.
Right.
They needed somebody, and I had a choice. Well, I was told you got two choices. You can go to Mountain Home, Idaho, or Alamogordo, New Mexico.
So Idaho or New Mexico?
And I was like, I don't like the cold. And I thought baseball would be better for my son in New Mexico, warm.
Okay.
I had a buddy that was there, and the officer in charge, I knew that she was squared away, and I knew going there, like, I should be good to go.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But walking into a clinic that, you know, had ample opportunities to grow and process improvements. So went to Alamogordo, and then had some family stuff, and got divorced.
Yeah.
And we had deployed to Afghanistan. Okay. So 07, 08. And at that time, the Army with the medics, they were constantly, I mean, they were ramping up. Everyone going there. In the Air Force, said, hey, we'll help you out, do this in lieu of, kind of, like, we'll send other folks, and we'll send special MOSs, AFSCs to help you out. So I initially got tagged to go to Iraq, but I had a medical thing, so was put on wait for 30 days. Day 31, I got hit with Afghanistan. Oh, and that's cool. And so I was a single parent, so I had to navigate that and quickly go through Army training up at Fort McCoy. Okay.
What type of training was it? Just like rifle, like what?
It was teaching me how to knock doors down, shoot. I mean, yeah, we were
kidding.
And I'm like, I'm a medic, and like, hey, Sergeant, sorry. I was fortunate to never, I don't know his name or where he's at, but because of my rank, I was teamed up with the captain, and he was a BMI grad, squared away, and he was a combat engineer at Air Force.
Yeah.
So me and him kind of, he got me through it. Can't shoot a rifle, damn, took me all day to qualify. But yeah, we had to go through a lot of self-aid and buddy care stuff. I already, but shooting, seriously, Army training.
Yeah.
I'm a medic.
I didn't sign up for this.
And they're like, oh, you're going to be outside the wire.
Yeah.
So now they're requiring this training for folks.
Wow.
And at the time, I'm like, I'm never going to get, I'm a medic. But when I did finally get in country and I joined my team late, and I was the first enlisted that went through that training. So it was a rotation afterward to everybody. Because we went outside the wire and went to the combat outposts and even further out for mental health stuff. So,
so you were going to the different outposts and talking to the
Exactly.
soldiers that were out there. Wow.
Talking stress management, just talking like this.
Yeah.
And just knowing that they can have somebody to talk to. I mean, folks are getting hit, day after day after day. And so did that for 5.5 days.
Oh, wow.
And, as you move up in rank, you get further and further away from doing clinical stuff and seeing patients. So had some great opportunities and ended up eventually getting to Langley. I had family in Virginia. And again, I had no idea that I was ready to retire at Sea Master Sergeant E8. I did enough stuff to prevent me from getting promoted. And but I guess it great supervisors and they can write real well.
Yeah.
One day I found out I made chief, and I just never thought it would happen. And then I had an opportunity to come back to go to San Antonio, and I worked at AMC as a superintendent.
Okay.
Outside my lane, but worked that, and then literally 9 months later, I got hit with an assignment, and I went back to Helm, Florida, New Mexico.
Oh, no kidding! Wow.
But this time I went back as the group chief. So
I
was a senior enlisted advisor.
Yeah.
And got hired, and I'm thankful for the hiring authority. And then the new commander came in, and we just had a great time.
Yeah.
Take care of business, take care of patients, take care of staff. At least I hope. And so that kind of ended my career there.
Okay. And then how many years total?
29, 7, 8 days.
Oh, wow. So very close to the 30-year mark.
Right.
Yeah.
So when my boss, the 06, that was his swan song for assignments. He wanted to be a commander. So he did his 2 years, and then he was retiring. And so the day before his change of command, I had my retirement ceremony, and I said, no, we started this, we're going to end it. So we both went to the personnel flight after the change of command.
Oh, wow.
And out process. And no disrespect to the new guy coming in, but I just didn't want to do that extra 6 months.
Yeah.
And so turn it over to somebody else.
Yeah.
Let them have that fresh start. That's why I didn't do the full 30.
Right. Yeah.
Plus, I was geographically separated.
Yeah, that's always tough for sure. So, I mean, you've dealt with a lot in a almost 30 years. You've dealt with a lot of trauma throughout your time, not only maybe for yourself, but dealing with everybody else's trauma as well. And I imagine that gets to you after time.
It did. So, finally, throughout kind of my career, I dabble with going to mental health. I can't go to my own clinic,
right?
Because I work there. So I have to go off base, and just wasn't at a point for several years to deal with my stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, and my son sees it or saw it, and, you know, he's very supportive. And it took a village to help raise him as a single parent.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing good. And my daughter, if she's out there, sees that she's doing well too. That's a strange relationship.
Yeah.
Because of where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
Made some mistakes, wish I could take some things back, some things I said and did. And just got to press forward.
Yeah.
But eventually I did go to mental health, and you know, that's what I knew it was time to go.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, still seeing some, you know, I go to the vet center.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're combat vets.
Yeah.
And so I feel safe there, but also like the VFW is my safe space.
Right.
This is kind of my therapy.
Mm.
So I had a job last November, and I really wasn't fulfilled and happy, and it was helping veterans. But I just wasn't happy at that organization.
Yeah.
To be nameless, but and yeah, and it's frustrating how I left, but I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so since November, I've been here pretty much full time.
Right.
And that's okay. The post was recognized as All-State, All-American, first time in decade.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to move that to true north and again, take care of veterans.
Right.
And that's why we give you the space. That's why we want folks to come here. And, you know, we give back to the community, to other nonprofits that donate the space for their meetings, church groups, voter, you know, other organizations. So,
yeah, very good. Wow. Well, you definitely had a long and very interesting career for sure. You know, I'm just amazed at your ability to be able to deal with that over that such a long period of time. You know, that's tough. But recognizing it in yourself and saying, okay, it's time to get help.
Yeah, and it's a continual thing. It's wake up one day and, you know, images and things are just going to go away.
Right.
You know, some days are good, some days aren't.
Yeah.
But how you start your day, you know, try to have that positive mental attitude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do get, you know, being the commander, I, you know, get a lot of eyes on, like just when I was active duty, and a lot of decision points and running meetings and people having difference of opinions and things. Yeah, it stirs some of that anxiety and that
sure.
You know, fight or fight. We're trying to get better, trying to do better at that. And really all I want to do is take care of veterans.
Mm-hmm.
That's my why.
Yeah.
That's why I try to tell my staff, like, what's your why? Which, you know, about veterans, about us coming to a place. And, you know, again, giving back to the food bank, giving back to the Grunt Style Foundation.
Right.
You know, and those folks are awesome. So, and give back to the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I got to say that the post here is fantastic. The building, there's a big history lesson behind that. I don't know all of it, but incredible building. I got to walk through it and see all the different things. It's fantastic. I really like it.
Originally built in 1894, completed 1895. This is my 5-minute elevator speech.
Yeah, go ahead. Hit us up because I don't know it.
1894, completed 1895. I'm bad right now with the original owner and then second owner. But the third owners were Petty's.
Mhm.
The house is named after the Petty House, 1903. And our post was chartered in 1917. So we were chartered even before the Department of Texas VFW. We were chartered by a national VFW. National VFW was started by veterans of the Spanish-American War.
Mm-hmm.
So those veterans here in San Antonio started the VFW. Originally, they would meet in the governor's palace downtown or other places. Somehow the Petties invited them to come here and to meet here. And I am told, and I'm trying to trust me verify, but Teddy Roosevelt was here.
Oh, wow.
Prior to World War One, and he was in San Antonio, and that's where the Rough Riders trained.
No kidding. Wow.
And so, but again, and some of those veterans from the Spanish American War went to World War One, and then came back, and got back involved in the post. And we do have one member with us, World War II. He's 100.
Wow.
We celebrated his birthday last October. He came here for Memorial Day celebration. So we try to keep in contact with him.
And he's local here.
He is.
Yeah.
And in 1947, the Petties sold the Petty House to the VFW at that time for $15,000.
Wow.
And then that became the home of the VFW.
Yeah.
At some point, the post decided to open the post and be an open post. So civilians, anybody can come.
Okay.
And that's the perception that we also have to break, is that we're an open post. Most posts are closed, so you have to be a member. But we're open to the public. So our canteen's open to the public. Spaces can be rented. So at some point, probably 80s or so, became an open post. And since then, there's been some renovations. There's some renovations in the 80s. Some other major renovations prior to that, I think. And then now we're slowly chipping away at helping restore the house. But it's a process.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's pretty awesome. I'm digging it.
So with the history, we've been able to get city support, county support to help us maintain the building. And that's why some of the grants that are pending.
Oh, nice.
Now,
is it on the Historical Society?
It is. So it became an historical site in 2017.
Okay.
Last year, about this time, we became a Purple Heart post.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's a process.
Yeah.
We do have a couple of Purple Heart recipients. So that was one of the things that also wanted to recognize and establish. So we're on the Purple Heart Trail now. Again, the building is old. It takes a lot to generate funds to keep things fixed. Um, uh, Home Depot is been a huge sponsor and partner.
Really? Wow.
They have the last 3 years come here and help donate, paint the outside picnic tables, and done some cleanup areas.
Wow.
We just had the Mission Continues here.
Mhm.
This carriage hall did not look like this. It was the walls up top, the old
Mhm.
1970s wood.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they came in for one day and did, I forget how many projects they had,
Yeah.
but USA partnered with them. We had,
Wow.
we had 300 people here throughout the day.
Wow.
They had different shifts. Yeah, it was amazing. And so it's contributions like that
Right.
that keep us going. The Carry the Load
Mhm.
event, San Antonio, starts downtown. It's forget 1.2 miles, and in honor of somebody fallen.
Right.
And Chase Bank is a huge supporter of that.
Okay.
It ends.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
So last year was the first year. I want to say 600. This year they say 8. You know,
Wow.
so it just keeps kind of
Yeah.
growing. So and folks come here, or I get phone calls across the state, questions about funeral arrangement. You know, how to get the flag, or how to coordinate an honor guard. Happens every once in a while. We have an honor guard team that covers ceremonies and funerals for free.
Yeah.
Like most posts, they'll have, but ours is post 76.
Mhm.
And we have other members that help support us, but they're engaged in the community.
Right.
All arts, excuse me, our auxiliary,
Mhm.
who are the spouses of the veteran,
Right.
and they I'll tell you that they got us through last
Yeah.
the donations to help support. They were awesome.
Yeah.
So it's all, that stuff. I kind of get choked up, but that is what this post can offer.
Mhm.
Now we got to crack the code,
Right.
across the whole enterprise, I guess. But here we're trying to do things right the first time.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm digging it. I like what you guys do here.
So are you a VFW?
I am a VFW member.
What post?
Oh man, it's in Virginia, Virginia Beach. I do
Oh,
not
I was just
remember.
there.
Were you?
I was just my son. Yeah, I was just there visiting family. Virginia Beach.
Very cool. Yeah, that I can't remember what post number it is off the top of my head.
What road was that?
I don't
Can't remember. All right, that's
I don't
cool.
remember. Hold on, I got
So
the card.
are you
in here.
annual or life?
No, I'm annual right now. Where is my card? It's in here somewhere.
It's cheaper. The
392, post 392.
That's the post I went to.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty nice guys that were there. But yeah, that's where I joined out of. And then so I just did it this year. It was the first
So
time.
I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but in our division, because we have over 150, so we're Division 1. So they were that post was number 5 in the nation and its territory.
Oh, really?
We were number 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so but yeah, it was a good experience and friendly people.
It's kind of a smaller post.
It is smaller,
but it's nice.
Yeah, it was nice, and went in, took my nephew in there, and had a beverage. And talked to him about the history of the VFW, but we also have to recruit annual to become life members.
Right. Yeah, that's my next step. I need to do it. I haven't done it yet.
And after life, is a legacy member,
Okay.
and most members don't know that.
So talk us through, like, if I'm a veteran, I want to join the VFW, kind of talk us through what the steps would be.
Come to a post, see one of the post officers. For our post, it's our procedures. Uh, Annual membership due, and we just need to vet your DD 214 that you are eligible. Campaign medal. Your name gets read into our minutes the next meeting. Our quartermaster puts you in the system. You're a member. And if you're a life member,
And that's for annual
that's for annual or life.
or life. Okay.
Yeah. Now life dues are based on your age.
Okay.
So
The younger you are,
the more seasoned you are, the less it's going to be.
Right.
The max it would be 420
Okay.
for a life membership for somebody in the
Right.
but if you do the math,
it pays for itself
would
in the
pay
long
for
run.
itself.
Yeah.
But you can do an installment too.
Okay.
You can do an installment over 12 months. Pay it that way.
Yeah.
Or just join as an annual and check it out.
Mhm.
And I tell, when we do recruiting events, it's like buying a car. Just check it out.
Yeah.
You don't have to sign up with us right away. If you live on the south side, east side, wherever you live, go to a post there and check it out. And most folks say, no, I want to be the oldest post. And I'm like, great, but we want members that are involved and engaged.
Right. Yeah.
So I'll say last night was our membership meeting, 35, and I had probably about 12 new members I haven't seen or come around.
Really?
So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Younger guys
all errors.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So all errors. Some, OEF, OIF. And after being a life member, you can be a legacy member.
Okay.
So legacy has 3 levels: bronze, silver, gold. Each level is $425 a level.
Okay.
But when you pass, there's an endowment from National, VFW National, that goes to your local post. So depending on what level, bronze, silver, gold, don't quote me, I think bronze, $7. So $7 a year annually, I think it's September, will go back to the post in your name.
Oh, okay.
Legacy.
Right.
So the picture up there, Lee Swain, past commander, he is legacy gold member.
Okay.
Here. So that's also important to grow because that's our legacy, right?
Right. Yeah.
But most VFW members don't know. And so trying to educate folks about that. And I talk about it at the membership meetings or elsewhere.
Yeah.
We have incentives, come to the meeting and 3 meetings in a row, and potentially we'll pull a raffle ticket and you could be upgraded from annual to life or life to legacy.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But that's kind of trying to grow our own and help keep
Very
us
nice.
around.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it sounds like you got some good stuff going on there.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Wow.
yeah. I didn't know today I'm wearing my district shirt, but
So we got it. He knew he was going to be on the podcast.
I didn't. I would have my post 76 merch,
Yeah.
which is also available.
It's if you go to the VFW, what is the website?
VFW post76.org, and we have a general org email that'll go to our adjutant and myself. If you got any questions, comments, concerns. But District 20 is the largest district out there in the state, and we have 19 posts around the city.
Oh, wow.
So they do a lot of great things too, and trying to help, some of the other posts out. We have posts down the street and try to support them. We're closed on Monday, so if I'm working or I'm here, we'll go down there afterwards and
nice.
have a beverage. And but it's all about the camaraderie and take care of one.
Yeah.
Care what era, where you're from, or whatever. When I was downrange, I knew somebody had my sit.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's what we.
I will say from my standpoint, I was coming here and I was like, I want to record, and I just reached out and said, hey, look, does anybody know? And Roy Reyes is the one who put me in contact with you guys. You guys didn't hesitate. They were like, yeah, absolutely, come in. You got all day, do your thing. So thank you for that.
Always.
You're always taking care of us.
Sorry I rambled and have a unique career at this time in my career field because of different things. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
One of my close, he's my brother. He's a command sergeant major equivalent. He just had his change of ceremony, command ceremony last month, but he's getting ready to retire. He's going to have it here because he has family close to the area. So I'm looking forward to that. We were deployed together in Afghanistan. And you talk about how do you get through some of that stuff? It's those connections, those battle buddies that I still talk to 20 years later.
Right. Yeah.
That I could pick up the phone and I know they know or whatever. That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and that's what this place is.
Yeah, that's very cool. Well, hey, at the end of every podcast, I talk about veteran suicide.
Yes,
is one of the things that's big that I try to do. And you being in that the field that you were in, I'm sure you know all about that as well. But to all the listeners, is what I always say: if you're struggling, you need help, please reach out. The VA does have some great resources. You can always dial 988, press option 1. You can text 838-255, or you can go to veteranscrisisline.net and click on that chat icon. Any of those options are going to be able to put you in contact with somebody that can help you out. But remember, one veteran life loss is one too many. I care about you. I know Mike cares about you. The whole veteran community cares about you. So please reach out for help. All right.
That's very true.
Very much so.
We need the crack that code.
Yes. But, and if you're a veteran and you're doing well, don't forget your buddies. Call out, reach out to them, ask them how they're doing. And if they do need help, give them a helping hand.
Don't text.
Don't text. Give them a call.
Don't text. Call.
Yeah.
I get bad at it, but call.
Yeah.
Hear that voice.
Yeah. Good point. I like it. Cool. Thanks for your time.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, man.
All right.
To all the listeners, stay motivated, change your life.